begin use the word brothers, sisters. I feel that's important. Now, today's world, we really need sense of brotherhood, sisterhood, on the basis 7 billion human beings are actually same humanity, same human being. So we need oneness of 7 billion human beings. If we develop sense of oneness of humanity, human being, 7 billion human being, then hardly no basis to kill each other. And so was the gap rich to poor. And sometimes you see too much discrimination on color, on class, different class, or rich and poor. These actually man-made sort of what's the distinctions, a distinction or problem. So now killing, I think it is unthinkable to these days, killing human brothers, sisters in the name of different religious faith. Unthinkable. All, as I mentioned earlier, all major world traditions carry same message. Love, compassion, forgiveness, like that. So this clearly shows people who simply claim themselves, oh, I'm Buddhist, I'm Muslim, I'm Christian, I'm Jews, so on. But in deep inside, lack of conviction about value of compassion. So we superficially take religious faith. So sometimes I mention, when we say, my religion, then in deep inside, you are higher than religion. Me is the superior religion. Yeah. So then, the superior I, mentally much disturbed. Or then that person use even religion for conflict. So all these, we are lacking seriousness about the essence of all different religious traditions' message, teaching. So now, whether we accept religion or not, up to individual. Once you accept religion, we should be serious. We should be sincere. So these days, I also is mentioning the very word Muslim terrorist. I think wrong word. Or similarly, I think in Burma, sometimes you see people call Buddhist terrorist. So we also member of terrorist. So these, I think, wrong word. Terrorist is terrorist. Any person who indulge killing or terrorist activities or action, no longer if someone who come from Muslim community, but carry action of terrorist, that person no longer genuine Muslim. So similarly, in Burma, this is sometimes, this is some newspaper, this is a few years ago, I noticed, this is Time magazine, on cover, one Buddhist monk described Buddhist terrorist. So at that time, someone used to ask me about that event. My mind sort of
reaction.
So then I express, yes, it is very sad. But I wish those monks who involve some harassment to Muslim brothers, sisters, and should visualize Buddha's face. Then at such sort of condition, such situation, if Buddha come, he certainly protected these Muslim brothers, sisters, no question. So therefore, they actually, people who indulge in these awful actions are actually not genuine believer. Okay. So the word, the Muslim terrorist or Buddhist terrorist, this I think wrong word. And I think each religion we should sort of add terrorist. So Buddhist terrorist, Muslim terrorist, Christian terrorist, Hindu terrorist, or Jew terrorist. So then people may feel, oh, better without religion. So I think people who make the media report, I think be careful. I feel better to avoid use Muslim terrorist or Buddhist terrorist. This I think not good. And then public who have not much sort of sufficient knowledge, then they get the impression, oh, whole Muslim is something militant. And also Buddhism, something militant. So that's I feel, this is something serious. So these days I'm expressing that. So now my main point is, all major world religions exist among the humanity, not other animal or other different
species,
form of life. Why? We human beings, since immemorial,
since long time back,
biologically, we come from our mother. We received maximum affection from our mother, from parent, particularly from our mother. So in our life, love, compassion is the key factor for the healthy development. Or you see, in order to be a happy human being, key factor is not money, not power, not just a mere education, but warm-heartedness, because our life starts that way. Now scientists also say basic human nature is more compassionate. And also person or people who constantly experience fear, anger, is actually eating our immune system. So this destructive emotion is very bad for our health. So just 2 weeks ago, when I came here, I spent one night at London. So at
Heathrow.
Heathrow Airport. Some of my friends used to come. And then one friend asked me, oh, your face, in spite 81-year-old age, your face looks like in 60s or early 70s. Then he asked me, what's your secret? Then I jokingly respond to him, oh, that's my secret. I do not want to share it with you. Then I mentioned, see, my life, quite sort of turbulence way. Complicated manner, because of the difficult life. Age at 16, I lost my freedom. Age 24, I lost my own country. And over 50 years, a lot of problem. And quite often, heartbreaking news from Tibet. Meantime, I think 99% Tibetan trust me, hoping me. I have nothing can be done. So there's a lot of a lot of sources of worry or discourage. But my mind, see, firstly, practice of altruism, particularly practice of altruism towards troublemaker. Very, very helpful. You see, that practice, you see, no sort of help, actual problem
On the ground.
on the ground. But as far as peace of mind is concerned, very, very helpful. Some kind of closeness feeling or compassionate attitude to your friend is something normal. The compassionate feeling towards your enemy, troublemaker, is, I think, we human being, only human being, and also some sort of
Through training.
or say through certain philosophical views. Only we human being can do that. Other, no. So therefore, I told them, oh, that's my secret. I always keep compassionate mind. Is that really immense help, peace of mind. Then nowadays, doctors, they say, healthy body, in order to have healthy body, healthy mind is very, very important factor. So I told them, so peaceful mind, compassionate mind, is to help my face a little bit quite
Younger.
young. And practice of compassion failed to bring my knees. That's something different. Even medication also not very effective. About 2 years ago, I met one German specialist about his knees. And he checked. Then he told me, oh, your physical condition is excellent. But then this problem, he told me, oh, you are not 18 years old person, but 80-year-old person. So cannot do much. Like that. So otherwise, I think my brain, there is no sign of old age, right?
No, aging yet.
Quite sharp, quite alerted. So all this, you see, out of practice of love, compassion, it's an unbiased compassion, unconditional sort of love. So these really very helpful. So therefore, all major religious tradition, you see, consider to human being, love, compassion is very, very useful, important. Therefore, all major religious tradition of human being, all emphasis the importance of love and compassion. Now today's reality, out of 7 billion human beings, according to some report, over 1 billion non-believer. These also human brothers, sisters. Then also, as I mentioned earlier, among the around 6 billion believers, there are some mischievous believer or a little bit stupid believer. These, due to lack of conviction about value of these teaching, mainly compassion, forgiveness, these things. So therefore, we really need see, one method which can cover all 7 billion human beings, irrespective whether believer or non-believer. So in India, I think 1,000 years is a certain sort of concept, the caring, the love or compassion or respect, indiscriminately, believer or non-believer. In India, they usually, some Indians, use the word of secular. So India's constitution itself is based on secularism. So, but in the West, the very word, among the Indian also, some, my friend, some scholars, they also told me, within in India, also the meaning of secular is still controversial, like that. So in any way, according to Indian understanding about secular means respect all religions and also respect non-believer. So we need one-way approach to promote these deeper human value, that is compassion, not relying on religious belief, but more universal approach, mainly based on scientific research, scientific finding, then our common experience and a common sense. So actually, with full cooperation with some scientists, well-known scientists, such as Richard Davidson and so on, and also some educationists, last few years, we seriously thinking, how to carry through education to make clear to people the importance of our inner value. So now, almost the drafting curriculum, almost now, because of that. Prepared. No, still we need
refinement.
Refinement. And as a matter of fact, just this morning, we seriously discussed like that. So therefore, we really need one-way approach the education about warm-heartedness, not relying on the religious approach. So now here, as I mentioned before, sense of oneness of humanity. I think the reality also now telling us, like climate sort of change, no differences of national boundary or different continent. I think if the weather condition become very serious, United States cannot escape like that. And then global economy, no national boundary. So that's today's reality. Unlike the ancient time. Ancient time, not only different continent, but even nation to nation, or even within the nation, community, more or less self-sufficient. Now today's world, not like that. Heavily interdependent. East world depend on the West. Western world, future depend on East. Like Northern world, Southern world, heavily interdependent, interconnectedness. And then the terrible, unthinkable sort of event, killing human brothers, sisters. Now I think this very moment, see, we are here, enjoy peaceful, joyful sort of atmosphere, but same planet, same human being, some other places, killing, suffering, and facing starvation. So we cannot sort of ignore, we cannot remain indifferent. So we have to think. We have to work. So therefore, now here, I think few thousand people here, you see, we are part of the humanity. So well-being of humanity, each of us have the responsibility. Then from selfish viewpoint, individuals' happy life depend on rest of the community. Then today's reality, whole world community is our own community, something like that. So therefore, even from the selfish viewpoint, we have to take seriously about the well-being of 7 billion human beings. And with that sense of responsibilities, sense of global responsibility, you see, how to start? From United Nations? From White House? No. We individuals. We have to start one individual. Firstly, you create inner peace, which is also the result of, as I mentioned earlier, compassion. So I think the main destroyer of peace of mind is fear, frustration, anger, jealousy. So these, the mentally antidote of that compassion, sense of concern of others' well-being. Once that develop, fear reduce. Usually you see fear from this flower, no. Fear from some articles,
Objects.
no. Car.
Objects.
Oh, fear, animal, yes, occasionally. One time, I have one experience in South Africa. So I have been some
Safari.
bush area.
Safari.
Oh, some elephant is coming, approaching. And also some bison or some lango,
Because bulls. No.
bulls. Oh.
Wild buffalo, actually.
Oh.
Buffaloes.
So we some fear from such animal, but mostly fear from our brothers sisters, and most time you see the anger also you see towards our human brothers sisters. So therefore, if we keep genuine sense of concern of their well-being, and others is source of my future, or because of basis of my happy future, then there's no room to develop fear. And distrust is the source of fear. You see, loving kindness, you see, bring trust. Trust bring friendship. That reduce fear, anger, frustration. That's a psychological sort of system like that. So therefore, so the key thing is we should pay more attention about our inner value. So individual try to keep more warm-heartedness, and then share with your friend. For example, 10 friends. Then each person, you see, share their own friend. That means 100. Through that way, 1,000, 100,000, like that. So the change of humanity must start from individual. So sometimes I also feel, huge problem. I cannot do much. Then I think I'm one of the human beings. So try to change myself, then share with more people. That's the way change, firstly, your own family, your own area. That way, eventually, the whole world. So I really feel this beginning of 21st century. If we just satisfy our usual way of life, and mainly through existing education system, I think this 21st century also will be more century of miserable. Look, 21st century.
20th
I know, 20th century. Lot of killing, lot of violence. So some historians say over 200 million people killed. And then once war takes place, then the effect of that war remain several decades in the European continent. You see, I met a lot of people who really, when they telling me their stories, their sort of their experiences during war, after war. So therefore, war is man's creation, not by weapon. So now these days, people here in this country, a lot of talking about gun control. Real gun control start from here. Then many places you see people say, world peace, world peace. World peace must achieve through inner peace, not through anger, not through hatred. Impossible. So sometimes I jokingly telling, you see, for world peace, few pigeons release. Silly. Immediately some disturbance, those pigeons. Otherwise, you see, the war or violence we created. The solution, that violence, or put hope on pigeon. Illogical. And also, similar sort of concept, I also, you see, telling people, expressing. One time in Hiroshima, say, some Nobel laureate meeting. So, the others of Nobel laureate, they mentioned with the blessing of God, of Buddha, peace will prevail. Then my turn. I expressed at that big gathering, peace will not come from as a blessing of God or Buddha. So peace must create by our own action. Prayer will not bring peace. Peace through action. So therefore, if we have opportunity meeting with Jesus Christ or Buddha or the Muhammad, if you ask, please bring peace on this planet, then I think most probably Buddha and Jesus Christ and Muhammad may tell us, who creates violence? Who creates war? Not by God, but we created this violence. So we have the responsibility to reduce this violence and finally eliminate this kind of violence. So it is our responsibility. We indulge violence family level or community level or national level or international level and then pray to God. It's illogical. So we have to work with determination. Then there's a sufficient reason, as I mentioned earlier, it's a scientist, they consider basic human nature is more compassionate. So that's our hope. If basic human nature is anger, then no hope. But basic human nature is compassionate. Therefore, if you make attempt, there is real possibility to create a compassionate world. Now problem is existing education system not pay much attention about inner value. That's a mistake. We have to find, as I briefly mentioned, we have to find the education system should include some education about warm-heartedness, not based on religious belief, but based on scientific finding and our common experience and common sense. So, if we make attempt now, proper systematic plan, start now, I think within this century, later part of 21st century, can be more peaceful, more compassionate world. So, I think here, a few thousand people, if I ask, you want more violent world or more peaceful world? I think everybody say peaceful world. Then, violence, we started, we carried. So we must change our thinking. And the way to change our thinking, education is the key factor. So please think seriously about that. So that's my talk. Thank you.